Yo guys and girls, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Season 2 of COD Mobile will be released in a few weeks, and a updated test server was released yesterday with a bunch of new content, and certain stuff that was in the previous test server was actually changed. So in this video I'll be basically showing you some of the new content that was released, and I'll probably have to make a part 2 because I won't be able to cover a lot of important stuff that is actually in there. So if you want to see that, be sure that you are subscribed with the notifications on. There are two new guns that are going to be introduced. So the first one is the SPR 208, and I think that this was actually in the first beta, if I believe. It is a marksman. We know that marksman rifles don't normally do too good in the game. They're like very underused. I have been using this for a while now, and I think that this has the potential of being the worst gun in the game. Actually, it makes the Kilo and the SKS look like some really good guns just because of how terrible this actually is. And what really throws off the gun is actually the fire interval. And even when I did put on attachments to make sure that it has the fastest fire as possible, it just couldn't cut it. But what this actually has over the other marksman is that the damage is a bit higher. You will more than likely get one shots with this versus the Kilo or the SKS. There are a few new attachments that are there. So firstly, there is a slot for bolt, so you have the option to choose between light bolt or heavy bolt, which will basically make you choose between if you want a higher fire interval or damage at range. The ammunition is also a bit different, but regardless of which one of these you put on, it will decrease the rate of fire, which as I said is already terrible. So this is it in action. Alright guys, so don't mind me missing all my shots. What I'm really trying to show here is the long time between each shot. So I'm really wondering how is this gonna actually work out in real games when it actually gets released. So guys, bear in mind that this is just the test server, so obviously rank is not open as yet. I'm not sure when. So this is pubs. There is also a new assault rifle being released, which is the AS Val, and this was actually announced in the current beta that I'm playing set with. This was in the last beta the last time I checked, and this is actually really unique because if you go right here, there is a 10 round FMJ, and this increases the damage and damage at range by a mile. However, it makes the gun non-semi-automatic, so you won't be able to burst fire again. There is also a new barrel that was there. This is the MIP 200mm mid-range barrel, which as it sounds, this is pretty good for mid-range, I guess, and this does increase the damage at range and bullet speed. I'm not sure what it means by bullet speed. I'll have to do a few tests, and you can't put any muzzle or anything like that on this gun, but it's actually pretty unique, and this is it in action right now. I think it's actually, alright. I think that if, you can manage to make a good class with it, then I think it should be a pretty powerful gun. There are also new score streaks and operator skills to be released. So as you can see right here, this is the bull charger, which is a new operator to be released, and this says charge forward and level all enemies in your path. So this is basically it in action. There's also a new Scourge trick which is being released, which is the Napalm, and this was actually released in the current test server, or not the last one. And this says scourge nearby enemies and lift the battlefield with smoke. And this is just 100 less than a VTOL. I did try out first. I don't think it's as effective as a VTOL, but either way, this is how it works.
Keep on them. We're winning this one. Napalm deployed. Enemy contact. I'm hurt. Sniper down. Napalm deployed. Hostile sentry gun spotted. Capturing Bravo. Target's in sight. Target down. Need backup. Hostile sentry gun in your AO. Enemy down. Need backup. Tango down. Enemy down. Hunter killer drone deployed. Our hunter killer has been.
I pulled 2 of these things and I only managed to get 1 kill, and bear in mind that these are bots. So do I think that this will actually play a huge part in the game? If they actually release it like this, then nah, it's not gonna. And guys, there are also some new perks that are being added, and I don't really like to touch on perks because sometimes COD Mobile will say that they're releasing perks and then seasons and seasons pass and they still don't release the perk. So there's the overclock perk, which increases the charging speed of operator skills. There is also the recon perk, and this says after an enemy is killed, nearby enemies will be scanned and displayed on the minimap. And the last test server, there was a drop shot perk. I guess that they're not gonna go through with the drop shot nerf again. However, there are still some changes made to movement. I will make a video on that maybe tomorrow or so, hopefully. But those are the key content that are coming next season for multiplayer. I'm not sure how much of them will actually make it through because some stuff was in the last test server and it didn't make it to this test server. So it depends on the response that COD Mobile actually gets on this test server. I guess that some of the stuff will be added. So yeah, if you want to see more of these videos, I do have a video coming out tomorrow on the new movement, blah blah blah. So be sure to go ahead, subscribe, and I'll see you guys then.